NHL insider Darren Dreger reveals major details on who is going to be on the Toronto Maple Leafs trade block to make them cap compliant before the start of the regular season, and this is going to have some major impact on their lineup going into opening night, so you're not going to want to miss this episode of Hat Trick HQ. But before we get into it, we got to say that 71% of you guys watching these videos aren't subscribed to the channel, so if you want to stay up to date on the latest NHL news heading into this season and throughout the entire upcoming season, make sure to go down below and hit that subscribe button. But before we dive into all this Leaf stuff, we got to talk about the Habs, because the Habs have something special brewing here. And yes, we know of Ivan Demidov. That's who we're talking about. Ivan Demidov, the 5th overall selection in this past draft for the Montreal Canadiens, is looking phenomenal over in the KHL right now, and is looking to be one of the next great bright talents to come out of Europe and come play in the NHL. And you know, we're just gonna bring it up here because putting him up in the ranks of these names is crazy. I mean, they say here throughout the production in their under 20 seasons from other top prospects in the KHL, Ivan Demidov is ranking right up there. Right now, through a 9-game sample size with St. Petersburg over in the K, he has 4 goals, 3 assists, averaging .78 points per game. If you look at other names on this list, yes, it is a bigger sample size, but Kirill Kaprizov ranks number 1 on this list through 49 games. He's at a .86. You also have Matvei Michkov up there, who just came over this season. We haven't got to see him in a regular season game yet, but he is a promising young talent coming out of that league as well with a .85 over there. Then you have Yevgeny Kuznetsov and Eli Tolvanen just below Ivan Demidov, a guy who is looking to be like a tremendous pick for the Montreal Canadiens in this past draft, and it is just amazing to see how well this guy has been playing over there. If you guys haven't seen any of the clips, I mean, this guy has looked unreal. His shot looks amazing. His passing has been great, and he plays with a lot of speed, which he will complement the Montreal Canadiens when he comes over. But just having him among the ranks of guys like Kirill Kaprizov is amazing for the Montreal Canadiens, because we've seen Kirill Kaprizov come over from that league into the NHL and dominate, be one of the best puck handlers in the entire NHL. His deking ability is unreal, and having Ivan Demidov at 18 years old ranked up among these names is huge for the Montreal Canadiens, because when this guy comes over, we see a lot of players come from Europe, come from these leagues, and play very well in the NHL. I mean, Artemi Panarin, Kirill Kaprizov, and there's numerous names that have come out from these leagues and played absolutely unreal in the NHL. And Ivan Demidov, alongside Matvei Michkov, who come over this year, is going to be the next generation of KHL talent in the NHL. This guy has such a big future ahead of him. He has such a high ceiling, and Montreal Canadiens fans should be very, very excited about this guy, because once he comes over, he is going to be the name, the talk of the town. Everybody is going to be talking about Ivan Demidov, because he is the next best player for the Montreal Canadiens, and I can't wait to see how he looks towards the end of this season, what he ends up with point total. Right now, he has 7 points through 9 games, which is great for an 18-year-old kid playing in a league against grown men, some ex-NHLers. So hopefully he can keep up this pace and keep his name up there among the ranks of Artemi Panarin, Kirill Kaprizov, because this guy has a very bright future ahead. Montreal Canadiens fans should be very, very excited. But I want to hear your guys' thoughts on Ivan Demidov down below in the comment section. We're going to get into the second topic of the video today, the reason why most of you guys clicked, the Leafs players on the trade block. And yes, over this past week here on the channel, we've been talking about how the Toronto Maple Leafs need to make a trade to sign Max Pacioretty to a full-time contract and also be cap compliant going into this regular season. There have been names floated around by many fans, many of you guys down below in the comment section, names like David Kampf, Connor Timmins, so many players, but we actually heard from Darren Dreger, TSN insider who joined TSN 1050 this morning to talk about who he thinks will be on Brad Treliving's trade block once this preseason is over and they're looking to get rid of guys before the start of the season. And we're just going to jump right into it here. This is what Darren Dreger had to say. He said, so to comply with the cap, who are we looking at? I'm looking at guys like Järnkrok and maybe David Kampf. He also goes on to say here in this article, they're decent players. There's a reliability concern for me when I look at Järnkrok. He says, I mean, if he's not available, then he's not helping you. But he's been around the league a long time, and he says, I think finding a fresh start could really help him out. And I have to agree with this. I think Calle Järnkrok is a guy who, yes, has played hard for the Toronto Maple Leafs when he has gotten into the lineup, but he has, been out of the lineup with, day-to-day injuries, week-to-week injuries throughout his stint as a Toronto Maple Leafs. So maybe getting rid of him, getting that cap space back where, it would be enough to sign a guy like Max Pacioretty to keep your team cap compliant would be the best move for the Toronto Maple Leafs. They have a lot of young guys coming up, and getting rid of an older, aging Järnkrok to maybe a contending team that needs that, two-way forward, power forward type Calle Järnkrok in their bottom six for, maybe a pick could, or a lower, really low pick would really help them out and help the Leafs out in regards to the cap situation. He also did allude to David Kampf, who was a guy I suspected that would be traded just because of his number of over $2 million AAV. But Darren Dreger disagreed with my opinion, going on to say, he is a safe fourth-line center. He gives you everything he has, and Berube might love that. And of course, we know Berube loves those defensive centers, and this is what you're getting with David Kampf. Yes, it is a lot of money to pay for a fourth-line center, but if Berube can trust this guy to go out there, win those draws on the penalty kill, just win those draws in general, crucial draws that they need, this is a guy who he wants to keep around because he is a Craig Berube type player. I mean, we've seen so many defensive forwards under Craig Berube in his coaching career play so well for him. And I think his style of coaching and his style of game that the Toronto Maple Leafs are playing in this preseason will really benefit him. Yes, it does hurt you with a $2 million fourth line center, but I do think the risk, outweighs the cap situation here, where you have other guys you can move out that are low risk, and having a guy who plays the exact same style as your coach, it's something that he will really want to have in that lineup. And maybe Brad Treliving says, hey, we need that $2 million gone, and gets him gone if an offer does come in. But I think he will look at other guys like Calle Järnkrok, Connor Timmins to make that move happen instead of David Kampf. At least that's what Darren Dreger is saying, but he also threw another name out there that I've seen a lot down below in that comment section. This is what he had to say. He said he's talking about Nick Robertson here. He says, I'm just saying we keep looking collectively as a media at Nick Robertson being the obvious guy who's going to get pushed out. He also says, I don't think that's fair. Robertson actually had a really good camp and has looked really good in the preseason. And he said, Robertson wanted out until he didn't. So obviously Robertson, he wanted out, but now he's been talked into staying, has been very, very hyped up by myself, by a lot of the media, just because of how he's playing. Obviously, pushing Nylander in the back with your stick isn't going to help you out with the fan base, but he has looked like a great player. He scored a goal the other night, and he's looking like he can be a great goal scorer in this bottom six for the Toronto Maple Leafs. And honestly, to push him out for what is he, like $1 million cap hit, maybe even under that, is not worth it. He's 22 years old. There's lots of older guys, aging guys you have that you can move out instead of a guy like Nick Robertson. Yes, you would get more return in Nick Robertson, but is that really what you want? Obviously, Pacioretty coming in is probably going to push him out of his position anyway, so it's a very, gray area right now for the Toronto Maple Leafs and Brad Treliving when it comes to Nick Robertson. Because yes, you're bringing in a great veteran in Pacioretty, but Pacioretty plays the same position as Nick Robertson. And Nick Robertson has already been frustrated with the Toronto Maple Leafs not making it into the lineup as often. So now bringing another guy in to fill that role will just, tee him off even more than what he was before when he requested a trade from Toronto. So it is interesting because if you do trade him, then that risk is just gone out the window. Maybe you package him up with a Calle Jarnkrok to get a better return. But I personally can't see Nick Robertson going. Darren Dreger obviously loves the way he's playing. I love the way he's playing. I know a lot of you guys love the way he's playing. And I think losing Nick Robertson hurts you way more, especially in terms of your future, than losing a guy like Calle Jarnkrok, Connor Timmins, or David Kampf. But I want to hear your guys' thoughts down below. Is there anyone that Darren Dreger didn't mention here that you think should be on the trade block? Let me know down below in the comment section. We're going to get into everybody's favorite topic here on the channel, which is comment of the day. And the comment of the day today goes to Reg. Reg says, I'm sure we'll see Austin Matthews taking the opening faceoff in the first game of the regular season. Shout out to you, Reg, for commenting on the video. Really appreciate you showing your support here on the channel. And I have to agree with you, Reg, buddy. I think Austin Matthews is definitely going to be healthy. They're just resting him as a precaution so that he can come in first game of the regular season and be the Austin Matthews we all want to see this season. But once again, appreciate your comment. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure down below, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. We're on the road for 5,000 subscribers before the start of the regular season. So if you're not subscribed, you want to get us one more sub closer to that goal, make sure down below, hit that subscribe button. And if you want to be featured in the next comment of the day, make sure to leave a comment just like our buddy Reg. You could be featured in the next comment of the day segment. And if you want to check out a video we did the other day, it'll be popping up on your screen right now. But as always, I've been your host, KC. Keep your stick on the ice.